that love, uh, yeah, take the example of Happy Diwali. So Diwali is situational. Huh? There is an occasion, there is a situation outside. What our mind is always running to change the situation, to be happy. So if I change the situation to be happy, situation is not in my control. Situation will change tomorrow. So I will become unhappy. Now we'll be talking in detail about this in when we start with the Upanishads. So any situation, now see another situation. For example, I like Stephen. So there is a liking in my mind. So my liking wants to create a situation to be with Stephen, but the Stephen is busy. So after a few occasions, I create a disliking. So the more I depend on the outer situation based on my preferences, prejudices, likes, and dislikes, I miss the love. I enter into emotional dependence. Will you get it? That is the summary of, we will, once I talk about this Upanishad, what a great thing. Situational love do not exist. Uh, situational emotional freedom do not exist. I don't want to name, so there are two girls, two women or girls, whatever it is, so the one girl, and they both are teachers in mothers in same profession. So when I go there, so girl number one says about girl number B, no, I don't know, she is not doing a good job for the kids. So that's why I did not offer. I did not offer her some of the sessions for the kids. My liking and disliking chooses that is emotional dependence. Are you getting it? So once I'm clear, now see that you remove the likes and dislikes. You live in the world. So then what happens? The mind is clear. Pure emotion will flow out. So your decision, your thought, your speech, your action is based on your emotion, emotional freedom. This causes the problem of depression, of anxiety, of duality, of conflict all the time. Because that mind, the moment you wake up in the morning, the mind takes over you. Oh, you think of brandy, so you have a liking plus disliking plus certain thoughts and feeling. And now your mind starts working. That is emotional dependence. So what I do, I move from inside to outside to express the thought and the speech and the action. So I live in emotional freedom. Whether you agree, you accept me, or you do not accept me, it does not make any difference to me. How can you live with a guy whom you dislike? You know you dislike a person. Your mind said it. Your mind says that you like a person. But now you remove that liking and disliking. You treat the person from inside to outside, not from outside to inside. You see? Did you get it? You don't move from outside to inside. Oh, the situation is like this, and that's why I did this. Ah, then you will never get an emotional freedom. No, and never. And emotional freedom is not there, so it will superimpose the mind in ignorance, and then there is no chance of awakening. So that likes and dislikes creates a sense of emotional dependence, or you can say attachment or detachment, or likes and dislikes and delusion. We are working 24 by 7 in that delusion. So what happens? The moment you drop, you have to make a conscious effort. You know this person is not good. But why to spend so much of time with your emotions and with your thoughts of likes and dislikes? Your mind is constantly creating a story. Drop it. So the moment you drop it, the mind becomes free from attachment. False I drops. Then the real I is reflected in the mind. So what happens to the real I reflected in the mind? It is made up of pure love. What is love? Love is existence. The moment you recognize it, in the absence of false I, it is eureka moment. It's a eureka moment. When? All the time. Now this mind is not at all influenced, dictated by the situation outside, the people outside. That is emotional freedom. And that emotional freedom puts you in the sense of, in the state of pure love. Where is that existence? I just told you love is existence. Do you know what do you mean by kind? It is kindness. So when you respond, I'm repeating it again, you don't react based on your likes and dislikes. You respond. And what do you mean by response? To move with affection. To move with affection. And when you move with an affection, you are living you are living in pure love. You are living beyond the world of the name and the form. What great master Narad. Ashok knows he is an Indian guy, so they know the names and they claim that they know everything. They have never studied. I know Narad, yes, yes. Huh? Ashok, you know? So that's the biggest problem. So here I meet majority of the Indians. Oh, do you? Oh, yes, yes, I know Narada. Narada says one drinks the nectar the moment you move into that emotional freedom. Nectar of love, pure emotion, knowing existence. And that's where the emotional freedom begins. So, what happens? How the love transforms? We find ourselves, we are in the lap of existence. We don't find that we are in the lap of a particular situation. We are single or married or divorced or certain limitations that we have. No, we find all the time in the lap of existence. Emotional dependence, everything is gone. Emotional freedom, you find yours. then that how dare that person can enter into depression or anxiety or duality or a conflict? There is no chance. But if you go into it, you have not learned it. There is no chance. Why there is no chance? In that love, there is a sense of self contentment, self fulfillment. The love manifest is a self fulfillment. It drives away emotional dependence. When there is an emotional freedom, there comes also the fearlessness. No, I don't have the money. I will earn money. It's situational. No, I want to be an influencer with 50,000 followers. You are already creating an emotional dependence. Do you recognize it? Recognize. So then you say, you see that I wanted to be an influencer, I did not become. And you are saying that emotional freedom. So you already created an emotional dependence in your life. Same thing applies. Your relationship with your mom, your friend, your honey, same thing. And then what happens? All anxiety, anger, hesitation, aggression, stress. Otherwise, it dissolves every one of them. Expectation transforms into affection, pure love. No, you don't take care of everyone. I care. Why should I take care of everyone? Why should I be emotionally dependent? Now pay attention. Why should I be emotionally dependent? At the same time, why shouldn't I move with an affection to each and every one in my life? It seems opposite, but it is not. It helps you to evolve. So just ask a question, what happens when that pure love and existence takes over you as an individual of name in the form? You become a representative of the existence. You become a representative of love. That is what the Jesus said love is God. You'll be surprised, amazed. You wake up in the morning. I was looking at my smartwatch and it said 90% sleep. Come on, I know you. It is not because of you. It is not because of sound sleep. It is because of that sense of emotional freedom. Because of that, what happens? You experience immutable peace and the joy in you at office, at home, in relations. Why in relations? I don't want to talk to the mom or dad or honey. No, emotional dependence. Dad is in front of me. Honey is in front of me. Why shouldn't I? I'm available, 100% available. When you are not available, emotional dependence. When you are available, emotional freedom. But it's a situational. I want to be with person A, I don't want to be person B, emotional dependence. Now that barrier has gone, and that expands your mind. It embraces, it accepts. There are a lot of other stuff. What happens when a seeker moves in and with love? So I'm referring another Upanishad, the main text. Your intellect is settled in knowledge. You are moving on the path of the emotional freedom, then what happens? What is the result? Your intellect is settled in the knowledge. Now, then what happens? Because it is settled in the knowledge, you don't think and speak and act because of out of the likes and dislikes, out of the delusion, out of the relations that he or she is my honey or parents. No, I have to move in love because intellect is settled in the knowledge. You have learned Eastern wisdom and still you claim I have a lot of depression and stress. Intellect is knowledge is not settled. Simple, simple observation. You observe yourself. The knowledge is not settled completely. You have to still work on it. Are you getting it? Say yes. So knowledge is not settled. So that one master gives a tremendous importance to this principle, this concept, or this expression. That if the knowledge is settled in the intellect, this intellect will not allow the likes and dislikes, any factor, situational factor. Do you understand? Situation to create any problem in your life. So, what is that? Intellect is settled in the knowledge. There is always a sense of non attachment. And the word is another word that is used equipoise, equanimity of the mind. One definition of yoga is uh, samatvam yoga chitta. Equanimity of the mind is yoga. So you are thinking, speaking, and acting out of the equanimity and out of the non attachment, moving with an affection. No, no, I want to know what is this equipoise and equanimity. You see? See the beauty of this teaching? Every day you wake up in the morning and you see the walls of the room, the ceiling, and the bed. Normally, you have a response. You take it for granted subconsciously and habitually. You don't take it for granted consciously. So, what I wanted to say that sense organs reports to your mind the thing as it is. They do not report the thing, people, and the events with an emotional burden. Did you get it? Say yes. Every day you wake up in the morning, all the five sense organs are active and conscious, you are aware. They report the thing as it is, so you don't create any situational problem. Neither in relationship nor in thinking and speaking and acting. You know the person is dislike you, but still you move with an affection. Why? Because you have to evolve. You want to get rid of that emotional dependence. And that goes a long way. You realize that the changing the situation outside is not going to help you because the situation outside is not in your control. It can never be. You take over your mind with an emotional freedom. Think, think, think. That is known as the intellect is knowledge, is settled in the intellect. That intellect doesn't move anywhere. The intellect sees, for example, any one person A, and that intellect is already polluted by the emotional dependence. So the intellect says, I hate this guy. I like this guy. So now I'm going to talk and think and speak and behave with that sense of emotional dependence. Intellect is not settled in the hush. Are you getting it? Say yes, Tim. You all said yes, then no problem. Do you see what a beauty, what a subtle concept and understanding? And it's not. You look at me, you simply look at me. Don't allow the mind to have likes and dislikes, praise or appreciation. Forget about it. So senses are reporting to you the person, the thing, and the situation as it is. It is not creating a sense of emotional dependence or attachment or detachment or anxiety or duality. Are you getting it, Ashok? From today, you have to look at your honey because she is also my student. So that's why I have to take care of each and every one. See, one example, when the knowledge is settled in the intellect, that purifies the mind. Constantly, you are living into that state. So means the love is purifying the mind. The responsibility to your mind is bringing the emotional freedom. Have a likes and dislikes. Take another example. The moment you meet a person, okay. Internally, your mind says, I don't want to meet that guy, but forcibly you are meeting. The situation is like this. It happens. But now you are burning inside and the guy is happy. He already welcomed me. Now he's. And now he keeps on talking and it brings the boredom in you. It is because we are responsible for it. So what is going to happen that our way of thinking and speaking and acting will change? It's very important. The way we think and we speak and we act, the way we see the world, with the likes and dislikes and with anxiety, with duality, with the hatred. So now those things are not present in your mind. Intellect, knowledge is already settled in the intellect. Take one example. Peace is my essential nature. The mind says, I hate this guy, but the intellect says, peace is my essential nature. I hate this guy. I know it. Why I hate, I know that. But because the peace is my essential nature, it does not influence me. The outer situation and the person does not dictate. You see the applications. Today I'm just talking about applications. My master says how long we live, 80, 90 years, 100 years. What is this 100 years as compared to the time of the earth, maybe billion years? So in that 100 years, what I have to do with the likes and dislikes, what I have to do with the attachment and detachment. Think in that term. So when you think in that term, you are happy. Mind says, yes, this guy is not good. Yes, you agree to that. You know it. You know it, but the intellect says peace is your essential nature. And it happens in our home. Sometimes we don't like mom and dad and sibling and honey, but still we pull on. That pull on will disappear from the mind. Because that attachment and detachment causes that emotional dependence is superimposing my real nature. And the same question again comes, are you living wisely? So not only living wisely means the knowledge is settled in the intellect and there is a pure emotion that flows out. Situation is not good, let me correct the situation, but not affected by it. The person is not good, let me remain in the state of discernment and dispassion. I have to take care of myself. Self contentment is there. And that is going to change the entire life. So we have understood that pure emotion, pure love, or you can say the emotional freedom intellectually. Why? Love is not blind. So the knowledge and the emotion should go together. If the knowledge and the emotion do not go together, it becomes blind. And the blind love creates a lot of challenges and the problems in our life. Close your eyes. The eyes are closed. Body is so the peace is your essential nature. You are revealing that peace and happiness from within. Oh, from within. But my body is uncomfortable. Let me make it comfortable. You don't get upset, even if the body is uncomfortable. Why? Peace, happiness, and love are already within me. So you adjust and align the body consciously. It is the conscious mind. Why? Knowledge is settled. See, pay attention to these subtle principles. And casually, you go with the same steps, looking at the neck joint, being there, experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness, and then looking into the space and being aware there are no lights. And, forget about the likes and dislikes outside. We create likes and dislikes at every moment. No, I like this posture, I don't like this posture. So looking at the entire body, being there, feeling sensation, comfort, and steadiness. going to the second step of being carefree. Why we say be carefree, this mind, until we have that level of emotional dependence, this mind will constantly invite unwelcome, uninvited, strange thoughts, feeling, and images. It will blame you. What is that you? I. It will say, no, I'm an anxiety. I've got a problem. Why don't you understand it? And when you are carefree, you say, okay, I understand your mind. I'm in stress, yes, but peace is my essential nature. Why? Knowledge is settled in the intellect. That never disappears. So that creates a witness attitude. That is another way to see that the thoughts are coming and going. You have a witness attitude. It is another situation, but then we replace it with a mantra. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. You see that? You have started thinking. What we discussed, that is what we are doing. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Meaning, let there be a well-being for all. You see, because you have an emotional freedom, you are coming out with an expression in your mind. You don't start, speaking of this mantra outside with a person you dislike, but internal, your internal environment in the mind is clear. What I have to do with the situation outside? Then what is going to happen? Your response, your thought, and your speech and your action will be totally different. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Let there be peace for all. Peace for all. It only, your mind can only speak when the knowledge is settled in the intellect, unwavering intellect. Peace, happiness, love within me. And then that guides the mind. Peace is a common factor. Everyone is seeking peace. Then only you will recognize and realize I am studying Eastern wisdom. So my response it has to be different than the person who is not studying Eastern wisdom. So how the other person is responding. So they are responding in anger and reaction, but still seeking peace. But I don't have that. I cannot make their choice. You see, knowledge and emotion, they go together. Pay attention. You have to listen to it, you have to contemplate and reflect on this again and again. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Let there be completeness and wholeness in all. If I perceive that every situation, person is a whole in itself, complete. So do I feel myself. There is a holiness and a wholeness within me. This mind cannot cheat us. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Another meaning of the Mangalam is knowledge with emotion. Where is the knowledge? Mind says, I hate this guy. But the knowledge says, this is my essential nature. Why you bring the emotional dependence? And then replaced by love. So you don't think, speak, and act of that. I in the presence of that person you hate, what happens? You can very well imagine. It creates a sense of auspiciousness. Even if the outer situation is worse, that is the meaning of auspiciousness. We have not done a couple of weeks. So look inside the heart in the space, start dropping Om Shanti, start breathing, quick short breath from the chest through the nostrils, keeping the body comfortable and steady. You are aware of the body, you are aware of the breath, you are aware of the mantra, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. You are dropping calmly, but the breath is faster and the body is still. When the mind is able to discern the three layers, where the knowledge is the fourth layer, where the awareness is the fifth layer, where is the ignorance? You will discover that all these layers of the existence is not you. You're not the body, you're not the breath, you're not the mind, you're also not the intellect. And they are doing their respective work, and you are enjoying that. Oh, is that so? Yes. That is the meaning of this question. And I'll leave this, just check, or just be aware of the body, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Be aware of the breath that is going in and out. They all are the part of the existence. My real self is different from all of them. That is what we are understanding in our lesson today. So, okay, so there is no dependence on anything. The mind calmness is there. So you will see that when there is no emotional dependence, the mind keeps on living within. naturally. How is that so? Let us do the nyas on the spine. Start breathing deep, silent, and slow. Pay attention. It is deep, it is silent, it is slow. No noise is there. Second point of awareness as you inhale, you move the mind from the crown of the head and the spine to the tailbone, singing Om Shanti. As you exhale, the mind rises from the tailbone and the spine reaches to the crown of the head inside the skull, singing Om Shanti. Can I say you are fully aware of the situation? What is that situation? Body is in the state of comfort and steadiness. Breath is deep, silent, and slow. Mind is moving with the breath, aware of the space inside, singing Om Shanti. To become aware of the situation, it means you are aware of all the 5 sheets, 5 layers. Why 5 layers? We don't want a sense of emotional dependence at any level. Your face expression changes due to emotional dependence. Your breath rate changes. We all know it. In anger and reaction, our tone and the pitch of the speech changes. You see, we are taking care of each and every aspect. Om Shanti. We are doing it by as if singing. With the knowledge, peace is my essential nature. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. And stop this. Allow the breath to be normal. Aware that you're living within. Move the mind inside the heart. Awareness of the space. triangle or any image that you love the most. So when you say that you love the most, there should not be any duality. It may be a mom, dad, Jesus, Krishna, anyone. But if the triangle is there, you move the mind on a triangle clockwise, anti-clockwise, with Om Shanti, dropping Om Shanti on each side. So you bypass the breath. You're not linking the breath with the triangle. Because we want to go deeper. You will discover when you're moving with Om Shanti, the mind on the triangle, sometimes the mind jumps, sometimes the mind moves slowly. So that will help us to understand the mind is still being dictated and influenced by the accumulated impressions in the past. Oh, that is so. So once you find the rhythm, then you look at the center of the triangle singing. As you sing, so the mind moves deeper. When the mind seemingly stops, you drop Shanti. And then you're conscious, you're aware. You find a kind of self absorption. Remain there. No need to move the mind on a triangle until unwanted, unwelcome thought enters the mind. The moment it comes, you already know what to do. Return again on the triangle. Don't pay any attention to those thoughts, likes and dislikes, of unwanted images or feeling. You return directly. And same, moving the mind on a triangle with Om Shanti, and then at the center of the triangle, you end. The more we go deeper within, we seem to bypass the body. What do you mean by bypass the body? Body remains in that state, being totally comfortable and steady. So the breath continues its journey of normal breathing pattern. Two layers. Third layer is the mind. So we are holding our mind onto the triangle until we move inside. When you move inside, you leave even so called the mind, just for the sake of understanding. So what remains is the knowledge, plus emotion, plus love. You're self-absorbed. Thoughts may be there, but they do not take your attention. So then it is okay. Remain there. That is one aspect. And second is that we undergo variety of experiences. The body seems to expand, seems to contract, have an extreme lightness or heaviness. But sometimes the body seems as if it is levitating. It appears. Sometimes we find pure emotions. You simply said Om Shanti, and the mind is deeper within. You see that the kind of self absorption, stay there. You're already in a state of doing nothing. Uh, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. Good. That was a good lesson, a good continuation of the danger of the mind, both internally and externally, and how we view things. It just continues to reiterate the same point of the importance of all the principles that we're learning in order to become aware of the danger and power that the mind has on us in every way. And it takes a continuous contemplation and reflection and immediate awareness to notice that. So
Yep.
all good. As far as the meditation goes, it was just a great. It went fast. It was timeless for me. And the only thing I remember is I got extremely cold as we went deeper and deeper into the meditation.
Very good. That you have beautifully summarized, beautifully. This mind must change. We should. That is the meaning of transcending the mind. We will talk about that later. So beautiful summary. And how are you, Brandy?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you. My meditation was really deep at first, and then I had some mind interference, but it was like I was staying between that place of staying in the meditation, and then also just letting the thoughts kind of come and go. And today seemed like a long meditation to me. It didn't. I think Stephen said it kind of was timeless. For me, I was like, well, have we been here for a long time? When I started thinking, I thought that.
Yeah. That is how the mind. You see, the time is the same, outer time. But who measures the time? In digits. I say it's going to be 9 a.m. Who says this? The mind. Can the time be measured by digits? That needs to be reflected. It is always time. We superimpose the digits.
Yeah.
It is
Girish,
not.
I can hardly hear you. Are you guys, can you hear Girish okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I can't hear you.
Where you going to talk? Everybody is hearing me? No.
कुछ वॉइस क्लियर नहीं आ रही है
Voice clear नहीं आ रही? Why the voice is not coming clear?
Not clear voice, still not clear voice.
Hello? Hello?
Now it is clear. Now it is clear. Yes,
Now
sir.
it is clear. Yeah, maybe some adjustment. So, what I was saying that we will take up that issue I say it's a 9 a.m. What do you mean by 9 a.m.? Nothing. It's a digit. So the time and the digits, do they ever come together? No. I superimpose. I superimpose 9 a.m. in Arizona and maybe 12 p.m. in New Jersey and 8 to 9:30 p.m. in India. It's all superimposition, but the time is the same. But the mind gets attached to it. So sometimes we find it's a long, sometimes we find it's a. So, how are you, Sam?
I'm okay. The space today was very dark and cold.
Okay, that's good. Dark and cold. No thoughts are there.
No thoughts.
No thoughts, yes. That's good. So remain in that state for a longer period. Beautiful. How are you, Ashok?
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
I am good. Quiet and peace.
Good, quiet, and peace. Yes. I just